So one of my buddies was like, "Hey, can you do a video on Dialga?" I'm like, "Why?" Like, okay, so you would think they nerf Giratina, they nerf Registeel, and you don't think you would try and nerf this thing? Like, alright, so there is a very scientific explanation why Dialga is overpowered. Extremely overpowered, actually. It's just absolutely monstrous. If you don't have one in Master League, a perfect level 41 one, or if you just use a boot, like use one that's not even perfect, like this is literally the only Pokemon in Pokemon Go where if you have it at level 41, you cannot contend with a meta. You like need Dialga. It's like, you need it. It's so overpowered, it can clean up and or deal heavy damage either or. And it can comfortably, you can get so much off of it. There's so many plays you can work off of this dragon, it's stupid. So Dialga is a Steel Dragon type, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good to see why it's so powerful. It's only weak to fighting and ground, and it resists like it resists everything, including the kitchen sink. You resist the waterfalls you resist Kyogre's waterfalls. You resist those flash cannons. Well, I don't think it's you, Registeel Masters, but you resist rock slides from Melmetal. You resist body slams from Snorlax. You resist the side stripes from U2, even though it deals heavy damage, you still resist them. It just has so much potential and just a ridiculous amount of play. It is a monster, and it's just really, really, really strong. Now, what sucks is that Dialga's only been out for one time. They have never... I don't think they've re-released... I think Dialga hasn't been out, like, it's been out like once or twice, but since then, Dialga hasn't came back. So if you didn't hunt hard for a Hundo Dialga, then you are kind of at a, if you're playing regular Master League, you're at a handicap. I was able to make it work. I created in Season 1, I created the ultimate anti-meta team that took me to rank 10, and it targeted Steel types. The problem is because of Switch being broken, you can't do the Rhyperior farm down play with Dialga, because what happens is that when you try to switch in, it will lag, and that lag causes that one move causes you to spend 2 shields. So Dialga is now, with Switch being broken, Dialga is probably the most powerful thing in Master League besides Groudon. So Groudon and Dialga are just extremely powerful. Extremely expensive. You need a level 40. It's Master League. At the same time, you need 100k dust. So you need a 15, I believe. So there is a way you can not use a perfect, but it has to be like level 41. But even then, you kind of want a perfect just because so many trainers out there have a perfect one that they win CMP. So I think it's 15, 15, 14. I think 14 defense is what you need. Or, yeah, 14 defense or 14 HP. Either one. But you're still going to lose CMP against perfect level 41s. So just keep that in mind. There are ways you can work around it, but if your opponent has a level 41, it's important to note that you're going to lose CMP. But yeah, really expensive, really cool. Has a pretty dang sweet shiny, but you know what? It hasn't been re-released yet. No, seriously, that's really, really cool. I wish it would come out. I would totally hunt for Shundo. But that's pretty much Dialga in a nutshell. Really powerful, few weaknesses, many resistances, extremely stupid high stats, and at level 41, this thing is a beast. Alright, so don't let the position of number 5 fool you with Dialga. The only reason Dialga is outputted by these 4 is just because these 4 beat Dialga. But Dialga is insanely strong against a lot of the meta. You beat Togekiss, you get Giratina. Anything that Dragon, Dialga will just destroy it. It even beats Togekiss. Ironically, it beats a Charmer. A Dragon that beats a Charmer with Dragon Breath. That's pretty freaking funny. Now, like I said, its key losses are all of the ones most of the above right here, and just overall, but if you look, it's extremely powerful. In all positions, Dialga is a monster. You can even use that switch, even though it rates lower as a switch. It's just because there's a lot of things that are viable in that position. However, that doesn't mean you can't switch Dialga in if you use it as a closer. Don't let the number 5 fool you. In the lead, Dialga ranks at number 7. It's lucky number 7, and it's still really freaking good. As you see here, if you look at the top of the few, it doesn't beat a majority of these. In fact, these are like the only things above it are its weaknesses. That's literally it. Except for Giratina Origins. So Giratina Origins takes the slot a little bit just because it has a little more play against a few more typings, such as Mewtwo. As a closer, Dialga is one of the most powerful closers, ranking at number 4. Now, Dialga, you'll see the difference when we do the matrix about the level 40 and 41, but over here you see it's just stupid powerful. In the closer, it beats Gira O. You're probably going to see a lot more Gira O since it's going to come out in raids pretty soon with the shiny. It beats Kyogre, Dialga, Togekiss. It beats so many things. You can beat Melmetal, Groudon, as long as they're like low. You can Draco Meteor these to death. You can beat Mewtwo. You can actually beat all of its weaknesses as long as you're able to land Draco Meteor, or if they have enough chip damage to where you can land Iron Head. Now, as a switch, Dialga ranks at number 20. Like I said, it's not bad as a switch. If you do have a really strong matchup and you're using Dialga as a closer, you can throw in Dialga into Kyogre. You can totally do that. As long as you beat the matchup, or you'll deal heavy damage, either or. It's so oppressive, you'll see why in the Matrix why it's so dang strong. Alright, the moment you've been waiting for, the comparison. Alright, so we got level 41 Dialga, and we got level 40 Dialga. I'm doing both. Just so you could just see how like nuts it is, like how it does so much damage because of that bulk point. You'll see how the ratings just like flip. So we generate the battle. As you see here, I don't know why the 41s are that. I don't know why that's like that, but you know it's fine. As you see here, the level 41 Dialgas will beat level 40 Dialgas. If you look at the sim. So if you get the mirror, level 41 matters. See how this is level 40? Now, if you mod the stats, so level 41 Dialga beats level 40 Dialga just because of the breakpoint. You could just go straight Iron Head, you'll win CMP, and then poof, it's game over. Which is really important. Now, this is another thing to note. If you have the 15, 15, 14, and you're level 41, because this thing wins CMP, you will lose. So, the Drago that wins CMP, so this is level 41, so watch what happens. Oh, it's a simultaneous knockout. You win CMP. Okay, so if it looks like if it goes perfectly, well, you'll lose the closer just because you win CMP. But other than that, wait, hold on. Why does this thing have thunder? Yeah, why is it? I'll go thunder. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, do that. Well, it doesn't matter. It's gonna still, yeah, it's still the same thing. So the simultaneous knockout across the board unless you have a shield. So the 14, so in actuality, it looks like the bulk points. Like, hold on, I think it's 15 defense. Yeah, 15, 15, 14. Yeah, 15, 15, 14. So 15 defense, 14 stamina, because it's still a pseudo-legendary. Okay, perfect. So that's what you need. You need a 15, 15, 14. If you're any lower, say it's this one, if you have a 14 defense, you lose them. Oh, it still wins. Okay. Huh. What if it's 14, 14, 14? So there are some plays here. So the level 41 still loses. Okay, that's just really interesting. So you'll lose in any words. If you want to go deeper in this, you could do more research. But for the more sheer purpose of it, it looks like level 41 does have some there is some play depending on what you have. I think if you have a 14 attack one, that's when things go south. So 14. So we'll do 14, 15, 15. Because this is just, I believe it's like 15, 15, 14. Like that's what you want. Yeah, 15, 15, 14. If you have 14 attack, you lose regardless if it's a level 41 or not. So you need a 15 attack one. 15, 14, 14 looks like it can do, but you need 15 attack for sure. It's just not worth it to spend all that time to do so. So other than the mirror, that's why you need a level 41 Dialga. If it's perfect, level 41, and it has the right break and bulk points, like I said, I think it's I'll after the matrix I'll look at what the perfect breakpoints are. So then we'll take a look at that for the summary. But you beat Dragonite, you beat Garchomp. As you see, you beat a lot of things in the 2 shield. You beat a lot of things into 2 shield. A lot of things into 2 shield. Of course, you're gonna lose against Groudon, Heatran, Melmetal, Metagross, just because they resist the Dragon Breath. They resist. Well, the Steel typings will resist Dragon Breath. Groudon with Fire Punch. This is very baity. So the Groudon matchup is insanely it's really baity. But you can take, I believe you can take a Fire Punch. So if we go to Sandbox mode and we don't shield this, so you can take a Fire Punch. You could take a Fire Punch and they're left with 31 HP. So you can actually create a farm down play here. So you can shield 1, double Iron Head, and come out of this matchup with shield advantage. So as you see, that makes it where it's not that bad versus Groudon. Like with Groudon, what you can do is like what I told you. You could just you could force them. You could come out of that matchup with a shield and have the ability to farm down a Groudon. So this isn't like super bad at all. Now with Melmetal, you want to leave Melmetal just because those superpowers are going to hurt a lot. So you want to leave. Same thing with Heatran. I'm not sure about the Metagross matchup. I think with Metagross, I'm not sure like how like does it just go straight? Okay, so it has to land an Earthquake to beat you. So if we go into Sandbox mode and let's say we take a Meteor Mash, so let's not shield. So don't shield this attack. So we don't shield this, and it still will win 41 seconds. So same thing with Metagross. You can well, let's see. Same thing. Well, can you double can you like notch like oh wait, hold on. Yeah, okay, so they does. What if you don't shield anything? What if you don't shield anything? Okay, so you need to shield. You need to shield something. You need to shield something. So you need to shield something. So don't let it pull you. You need to shield something. You'll come out of it with. So you'll lose your Dialga, but like I said, you could do the same thing with Groudon, where you can come back, have shield. You could come back, have shield advantage, and you could farm down their Metagross with whatever comes in, because as you see, it doesn't have any energy left. So those are plays you could do with Groudon and Metagross. Is you can let it die. You can let it die. You could take both shields, come out that matchup with a shield, and can farm down the Metagross. So there are plays you can do. So that's why this thing's such a monster. Okay, so the Rhyperior matchup only works if you lose. Okay, so this matchup only works if you don't lose a turn. If you don't lose a turn, for example, if the Rhyperior, okay, so if Rhyperior loses a turn, so let's see. No, don't wait. Okay, do that. Wait. So as you see how it farms you down completely, right? If you don't, here's what happens. So let's see you lose a turn. So let's see. Or let's tap. Yeah, if you lose a turn here, see 2 turns of difference can flip the scenario. So if you lose a turn on the switch and it ends up wrong, you can't farm down Dialga Rhyperior. So if they throw their Rhyperior into your Dialga, and just 2 turns. You see 2 turns. If you lose 1 turn in this sequence, you beat the Rhyperior. So this matchup isn't super bad. Swampert wins, I believe, just because of Earthquake. But like if they miss, yeah, I think it's just because of Earthquake. You can take a Hydro Cannon. You don't need to worry about taking a Hydro Cannon. You could just take a Hydro Cannon. They have to land Earthquake to beat you. Wait, hold on here. Hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. What are they doing? Yep, so Hydro. Yep, Hydro Cat. So you can force both. You can actually like here. Where's this shield? Yeah, don't shield this attack. Okay, perfect. Update. Boom. See, you can take both Hydro Cannons as long as you call the high. I mean, you could shield one, like here. You could shield 1 Hydro Cannon just to be safe, and then they will never get to an Earthquake. So the matchup with Swampert actually isn't bad. You actually win this pretty hard. All you have to, yes, you lose a shield, but you come out of this matchup with 34 energy. So it only takes a few more Dragon Breaths before you get to another Iron Head. So you'll probably take depending on what comes in next, you'll likely take the shield, or you have more play, or you can save all this energy and then just finish off with Dialga, either or, whichever play you want. So as you see here, there's a lot of things you can do with Dialga. This is probably the nuts, the one that's like probably the craziest one. If you have a level 41 Dialga, okay, let's see here. I think, is it the one shield? Togekiss wins with the battle rating of. So there's a difference between level 40 and 41. I think it's in the one shield. So we'll look at this matchup in the one shield. But I believe in the two shields, Togekiss can beat you. But there's something in the ones. As usual with Dragon Breath, you kill everything that's dragon. You also beat Mewtwo in the two shield. Mewtwo can take both of your shields, or you can take. You see how you break both of your shields here, but you're still left with 57. You can actually take a Psy Strike. So you could actually take one. I think you could just take. Well, no. Yeah. I think okay. So if you don't shield this one. Sandbox mode. If you don't shield this one. Perfect. Update. Yeah, there's a Psy Strike. Yeah, they need. You could take one Psy Strike. Or here, they shield this attack. Shield this. So here's how the sim plays out. Okay, I think I did that wrong. Okay, here's the mute. Here's you. Okay, don't shield this one. Okay, you come out. See, you come out. Well, here you come out with like 3 HP. One turn can flip this scenario. So if you switch in Mewtwo into you can. So you can't. You could. Let's see. You take the one Psy Strike. You can take. You could take one and break both of their shields. So you can come out of this. You can do this. This is a play you could do versus Mewtwo. You can take both of their shields, and then you can just use one shield, and then whatever comes in. They win switch, but you come out with shield advantage. See what I mean? How Dialga is just super oppressive. Even if it technically loses in the twos, there's like it'll come out with shield advantage, and extra energy. You could come out with shield advantage, and it's just and you can farm down whatever comes in. It's just nuts. So in the one shield, in the one shield you lose against Garchomp this time around, just because Outrage does. I mean, it just hurts. So if you look at the matchup versus Garchomp, I think it could just go straight. Yeah. So it could go the Sand Tomb, and then the Outrage will actually KO you. So just keep that in mind. You'll lose against Garchomp in the two shield. If you do shield. Hold on. I think if you do shield the Outrage though. So if you don't. So let's say I think it happens if you don't shield the Sand Tomb. So if you don't shield the Sand Tomb, I believe if you don't shield the Sand Tomb, but you shield the Outrage, I think you can win this. Yeah, so if you shield the Outrage, you win. So they have to Sand Tomb and Outrage to kill you. Just keep that in mind. So if you do get the Garchomp and the ones, you can win this matchup. Just make sure you don't shield the Sand Tomb. That's bait dependent. Groudon's gonna beat you. Unfortunately, I think you really don't have a choice versus Groudon. When you play Groudon versus Dialga, here's what happens. So when you play versus Dialga, I think even if you don't shield the Fire Punch, it's still gonna suck. Let's see. If you shield the actually you do beat it. Never mind. So this is bait dependent too versus Groudon. This is how I say Dialga is just a beast. If you call the Earthquake, so if you shield the Earthquake, you actually win this matchup. So even if it's like what if it's a level 41? Yeah, you still win the matchup. So as long as you shield, like that's bait dependent. So Groudon, see how this is? See how it's just so strong? That's bait dependent, and that's bait dependent. So Garchomp and Groudon are actually are bait dependent. Melmetal, I'm not too sure about this. I think Melmetal just wrecks your soul just because of superpower. I think okay, so let's see. If you don't shield, I think if you don't shield the rock slide, you might be able to take this match. Let's see what happens. All right, go to sandbox mode, take out the shield, and then poof, apply changes, poof. Melmetal wins. Okay, so even if you don't shield the rock slide, it's gonna suck. What if you shield the superpower? So shield this attack. Nope, Dialga wins. Okay, so this one's bait dependent too. So in Melmetal, you have to bait. You have to bait. It's the same thing with Metagross. You have to bait. So like 4 of its matchups, like all of it, like what it loses against, it's bait dependent. Same thing with Swampert. I think with Swampert, if you don't land the Earthquake, I think if you shield the Earthquake, you actually win this matchup. So let's say you don't shield that. Say you shield this. So you don't shield that, and then you shield this, and then you get Dialga wins. So a lot in the one shield, a lot of things are baity. So I would be like, this is why Dialga is just so freaking overpowered. In the two shield, it dominates. In the one shield, it dominates too, because you have to play. If you even if you do technically beat it, you have to play the bait game. You must bait. You must bait, because here, if you don't, if you here's what here. Wait, hold on. And oh, you just get one sub down. So as long as it doesn't as a shield, okay. So you'll lose against Rhyperior convincingly as long as you're even shield scenarios. But like other than that, like like you. So you beat Garchomp, you beat Groudon, you beat Melmetal. So you beat a lot of things in this. You beat Swampert. So there's a lot of things in this box right here that is bait dependent before B2. In the closers, Dialga just doesn't. In the closing scenario, Dialga just kills everything. Kills most things. As you see, you beat Dialga, you beat Dragonite, you beat Garchomp, Giratina. You beat like everything except I believe things that can Earthquake you. However, this is what happens. If you have energy advantage with Dialga, I think you kill everything. So let's see. As long as let's say you have 20 energy or 30 energy, it gets to a Draco Meteor and then you end its life. So if you beat stuff to Draco Meteor, so yeah, or like even 20 energy, I think you can flip this matchup. Yeah, even 20 energy. As long as Dialga has a little bit of energy, it can get to a Draco Meteor, or yeah, you can actually finish out the opponent. So against its closing matchups, if Dialga has, that's what a lot of plays happen, is that a lot of things will just Draco nuke everything. For example, with Melmetal, if you Draco nuke it, you dies. A lot of things, if you there's so many plays and there's so many outs with Dialga that's ridiculous. So you start with 16 energy. Oh wait, hold on. Nope, you actually need, no, you need more energy than that. Okay, so we need, so let's see, 30 energy. Let's say like 10 Dragon Breath worth, yeah, 10 Dragon Breath worth of energy. So you Dragon Breath something down, you got 10 Dragon Breaths. Okay, so Melmetal still has a lot of play. You need to have a Draco Meteor, like I think near ready. No, oh wait, what if it goes straight Iron Head? Sandbox mode. What if you Draco Meteor? Draco. No. Wait. Apply changes. So if you wait, and then you Draco, and then you Draco apply. Okay, so yeah, yeah. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, you have to get, if you get the Draco, it looks like you can KO. Where's that Melmetal? Dragon Breath. So if you Draco, they don't get to a second. They Draco and they have to superpower. So if you Draco, they superpower, the subsequent Dragon Breaths will actually kill it, and it never gets to a second superpower. So in the closer, if you get Melmetal, you need a Draco. If it gets to you need a lot of energy, but you could still flip that match with Melmetal. Same thing with Metagross. I think you could same thing with Melmetal versus Metagross. I think you just Draco it and it just kills it. Swampert, just don't get Earthquaked. If you have energy advantage, I think you take the. Actually, I think Swampert can die to an Iron Head just because it's so oppressive. So if we have, like I said, if you have energy lead, you can flip these matchups as long as you can line a charge moves. Yeah, see. As long as it has energy lead, you win against its losing. I think the only one where you don't really have, well, is probably Conkeldurr. I think because Conkeldurr is bulky. So if you do this, and we do 16 energy, I think it's just because Conkeldurr is bulky. Yeah, it's just because Conkeldurr is bulky. So in order to beat Conkeldurr, I think you need to have it's the same thing with the Melmetal matchup. You need to have like a Draco, you need to have a Draco near ready, or you won't be able to kill it. So, but that means there's outs against like every one of its matchups in the closer, which is just nuts. And I don't even need to say what goes on when you're up a shield. If you're up a shield, you kill everything. You kill everything. Melmetal has to bait you in the one if you're up shield advantage. So Melmetal has to bait you. You see right here? If you don't shield this, but you shield the superpower. Wait, hold on. Apply debuff. Shield this. Yeah, they have to shield. So if you call the bait, or say if you call the bait, you win. Because if they superpower first, and then rock slide you die. See, you could just go straight Draco Meteor. So up a shield, this Melmetal matchup, as long as you call the bait, or you pretty much win, just don't shield the first move. So you beat every for Melmetal. Just don't shield the first superpower, and you'll be all right. Shield the second one, and you should win pretty handily. Up a shield. In the up two shields, you beat everything. There's nothing that stops you. See how depressed you sound when I say that? Nothing stops you. There's nothing that stops you. It beats everything up two shields. There's nothing that stops Dialga. Nothing. In the 2-to-1s, there's a little more play. You'll still lose against Conkeldurr and against Rhyperior, but other than that, you'll still beat a lot of other matchups. And I do think I don't think you can flip these if you're. Let's see. I don't think you could flip. See what? This is why Dialga is just so broken. It's so overpowered. No, seriously, this thing's like broke as crap. It's so overpowered. Like it's ridiculous. Like not having one like puts you on such a limiter. Okay, so you can beat it if you shield. Well, actually, no, you can't beat it. I think you need like energy lead. I think you need to like call the bait for you need it. Yeah, no, you just don't beat it. So you don't beat that. You won't beat Rhyperior or Conkeldurr in the 2-to-1s, but that's okay. Yeah, as long as you stay away from those two and just leave it in the closer or like take them to the zeros, you should be okay. But behold, this is why Dialga is just so broken. As you see, we did a lot of scientific analysis and just there are so many, like Dialga is like the only mon where like that has so many outs in Master League. A lot of other mons don't have the enjoyment that Dialga is, as just like absolutely destroying everything in the meta. Alright, so in summary, the Dialga is just stupid strong, but here's its bulk points. Thanks to Goab, I found it. It's 15, 14, 12. So you need 15 attack, 14 defense, and 12 HP. So as you see here, highest break point in the mirror, 14 ensures extra damage, and 12 guarantees simultaneous KO. So 15, 14, 12 is your mirror point. I don't really need to do a summary. Dialga is stupid overpowered, up shield and energy advantage. It's a monster. It has a lot of outs. If you don't have 15, 14, 12, don't use it. Or just do Masters Premier. The reason I recommend this is because if you do lose the mirror, you have to finesse your way. You have to do so much finessing. Or you just basically have to beat your other two Pokemon have to beat their Pokemon. Or you have to at least hard counter one of their Pokemon. Does that make sense? Dialga Master League is just so volatile because of Dialga, and this is why. Should Dialga get nerfed? I'm not sure. It's up to if you think. I definitely think it should get nerfed. It definitely should get nerfed. Like other than Gira or Reggie, it definitely should get nerfed. Literally, the only reason why regular Master League is like not as much fun is this and Groudon, which Groudon I'll cover for a future video, but definitely Dialga is definitely again 15, 14, 12 if you use it. If you already have one, that's awesome. If you don't, this is what you should look at if you're looking to build one. You guys have a wonderful day. I will see you on my next analysis.